This is an All Ears English podcast, episode 929. What are you up to? What it means and how to answer. Welcome to the All Ears English podcast. Downloaded more than 50 million times, we believe in connection, not perfection. With your American hosts, Lindsay McMahon, the English adventurer, and Michelle Kaplan, the New York radio girl. Coming to you from Boston and New York City, USA. And to get your transcripts delivered by email every week, go to allearsenglish.com/subscribe.
Today, we get a crash course on the phrase, what are you up to? Find out how it can be a super smooth way to ride the line between being interested but cool and collected in English.
Hey, Michelle, how you doing?
Hey, Lindsay, I'm good. How are you?
So, not bad, but Michelle, what are you up to tonight?
I'm not sure. I'm probably going to make something for dinner and just relax. I kind of just need a night to just hang out. What about you?
Yeah, well, actually, I'm going to look at apartments tonight because I'm moving to a new apartment.
Right. Oh, that's right. Okay, good luck.
Yeah, it's quite a hustle around here finding a new apartment. It's quite interesting, running around with brokers and all this stuff. But it's kind of interesting, too, to see people's spaces. You know what I mean?
Oh, well, when I'm looking for stuff, for places, I absolutely, that's the best part, is just to be able to look at all of it and just take it on. It's fun.
Yeah, it's fun. It's really fun. So how did I ask you what you were doing? I mean, what did I say?
You said, what are you up to tonight?
Yeah, how natural is that?
It's very natural.
Super natural. On a scale of 1 to 10, it's probably like an 11, right?
Yeah.
Something like that. All right.
Definitely. That's a good number.
Awesome. And so when someone asks you that, like, hey, what are you up to tonight? What are you up to this weekend? How would you respond typically?
What if somebody says, what are you up to tonight or this weekend? Yeah, I would say, not much, or, oh, I'm going to blah, 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 whatever my plans are.
Yeah, exactly. So let's give our listeners one more example in context, and then we'll talk a bit more about this phrase and like how to handle it, right? So, okay. So let's do a little role play. So let's see. So, hi, Michelle. It's Jen. Ring, ring.
It rings after you say hi. I love it. That phone is crazy. Wow. Okay.
Interesting phone.
Oh, hey.
Hey, what are you up to?
Oh, not too much. Just hanging out at home, finishing up some work.
Nice. Okay, awesome. So, Michelle, today we're talking about this greeting. You know, what are you up to? And how our listeners should respond to it when they get it. Yeah.
Okay, great. Good topic.
Yeah. And I think that later, after we read the question here for our listeners, we should get into, how exactly should you respond? Should you always say exactly what you're doing? Is it like, how are you? Like, do they want details or do they not want details? That's kind of the question, right?
Okay. All right. I'm excited to see the answer.
I thought you had the answer, though.
That's right. That's true. I forgot.
You have all the answers, Michelle.
All the answers. It's amazing. Wow. I'm quite a person.
All right, guys, before we read our listener question today, I want to remind you, you can subscribe to the transcripts and you can get them at 50% off. It's a really good deal. You don't have to do anything. We deliver them to your email inbox. Super easy. So go to allearsenglish.com/subscribe. All right, Perfect. Cool. Okay, Michelle, could you read the question for us?
I can. All right, here we go. Hi, you all. I'm new here. I just wonder, what should I say when a friend says, what are you up to? What are you up? Or what are you up to? Is the last answer or what? I'm not sure I understand that part. Do you know, Lindsay?
Yeah, I don't know that part.
Okay.
That's okay. We'll just keep going. That's okay.
Okay. What is the proper answer and what does that sentence mean? If you can tell me some nice greetings I can say when I meet my friend. Thank you in advance. As a German native speaker, I often ask myself when to use which of those words correctly. It would be so cool if you did an episode about it. Thanks for all your efforts. I absolutely love your podcast. Best wishes from Dusseldorf, Fred. Oh, well, welcome, Fred. You're new here. Thank you. I'm glad that you're listening and enjoying.
Okay, so Michelle, a good question from Fred. Fred, we love to have old listeners and new listeners. So thank you for asking this question. Guys, if you have a question, send it to lindsay@allearsenglish.com. We love getting your questions and answering them on the show.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah, so good. So Michelle, is this just like how are you? I mean, how does this compare to how are you, that greeting?
Well, I wouldn't say it's exactly like how are you? I mean, they're both kind of greetings, but I mean, how are you is usually just like a, polite question of expecting somebody to just be like, "Oh, I'm good. How are you?" Right?
Yeah. Yep.
So, I mean, in a way, they're both simple greetings, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I think that what are you up to has a little bit more depth to it. Like it's a little bit more personal. And it also is assuming you have a little bit more time.
Yes.
To talk. Like, how are you? I think of two people, like you could be just coming up to start a conversation, but it could also just be like, we're passing each other in the hallway. Like I wouldn't say what are you up to in that case if I'm just passing you in the hallway because you don't have time to answer.
Yeah, I think that's the perfect way to describe it. It has a little more depth, right? So how are you? We've talked about this on other episodes, the way that how are you can be super superficial. It can be very light, and it can also be more intimate depending on who you're talking to. But yeah, I agree that what are you up to requires that we stop, we engage with the person, we listen to what they're going to say, and you're not going to ask a total stranger, like, what are you up to, right?
Right. Exactly. I like that.
Yeah, I love it. So this is good. And this is also kind of a good way to, if you're trying to like spend time with a person, but you don't want to be 100% direct. Do you know what I mean? It's not so intrusive to say like, would you like to do something tonight? Instead, you say, hey, what are you up to tonight? Right?
Right. Exactly. Yeah. And if they say, oh, nothing, maybe you ask, oh, well.
Exactly. It's like you can always back out because they say like, oh, I'm going on a date with my boyfriend. Then it's like,
oh, yeah. Okay, cool. Well, it just,
right.
Yeah, it could be to ask to just kind of like feel out if someone is available or not. But yeah, it is definitely, I like that point, Lindsay. That's funny.
Yeah, it's a really good, it's nice. Or even just, for friends, like if your friend tends to be busy, but maybe you're hoping they have a night off but you don't want to like pressure them because they have a lot going on. Instead of just coming up and saying, hey, would you like to go to a movie tonight? You could be like, hey, what are you up to tonight? What's going on?
Right.
And then they say, oh my gosh, I'm so busy. I have to catch up on my work. And then you back off, right? So you don't even offer. So it's really a strategic phrase, guys, for connection here.
Definitely. It's good stuff.
Guys, what do you think about the All Ears English podcast? If you haven't left a review yet in iTunes or even inside our new app, please leave us a review and we'll announce your name on the show. Thanks, guys. Yeah. So how do we respond to it then? We have to know how to not just ask this phrase and when, but also how to respond to it for our listeners here.
Right. So, well, you could say like, oh, not much, or oh, not too much. I'm just blank. Like I'm just some activity like, oh, I'm just doing work, or I'm just cleaning my house.
Or just going to the gym or something like that, right? Yep.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
So what else could you say?
You could say, what are you up to? You say, oh, not a whole lot, right? Not a whole lot. Right. Maybe I'll go for a drink here, or maybe I'll clean my house or
Right.
You've got to think of more interesting activities here, Michelle.
I know, right? I know. We're both very interesting, busy people. Why can't we think of something? Or you could just say nothing much.
Yeah. So you can take it, the other thing about this I like is that you can be very vague in your answer. Like you don't corner people requiring a very specific thing. Like you give people a lot of leeway in terms of how specific they want to be of what they share in their life. Yeah?
Right. It's not too personal, but it's just like kind of giving them an opportunity. Maybe they do want to share, but maybe not.
Exactly. And I feel like this phrase does have something in common with how are you? Because the default response to this, at least in the US, is to kind of downplay what we're doing and not to share a whole lot. right? Just like with how are you, we're not going to go into like, oh, I have a little bit of a cough and I think I might have the flu coming on and, you know, my mother-in-law is coming into town this weekend. Like you don't.
Right. True. That's funny.
I think with this one too, you know, what are you up to? We might not give all the details and that's fine. That's normal. That's good.
Right. I think I do think the phrases have a lot in common for sure.
What about like age-wise? I mean, would your mom say this phrase?
I personally think that she would. Would yours?
Well, your mom is cooler than mine. No, just kidding. No, I haven't heard this in my mom's vocabulary. So I feel like this tends towards like a younger, like 20s, 30s crowd, but they could. I mean, there's no reason why they couldn't say it. It's just that certain phrases are more common in certain age groups, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think this is doing like a young phrase necessarily. I feel like I wouldn't hear like an 80-year-old say it. No. I don't know. I could hear like some adults saying like adults, like I'm not an adult. I could hear some like older people older than me saying it, but that's I don't know.
That's interesting. Like, well, I guess like why is it that your grandmother wouldn't say this, but your mother might, like, or you might? It's interesting. There's such a generation gap there. Between
right, and how it changes like between how the generations change linguistically.
Wow, but not so much between you and your mom, but between you and your grandmother. So 2 generations. That's fascinating. I think we could do an episode on that too.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Wow. Good topic. Okay.
Lots of ideas.
Yep. And yeah. So what are some other greetings then? Our listener here, our listener Fred asked us for a couple of other greetings that mean something similar or you could also use, right? So what else could we say, Michelle?
Oh, you could just say like, hey, how's it going? Or hey, have you been? Like if you haven't seen someone in a while, right, Lindsay?
Yeah, exactly. And then there's a third. What would that be?
You could say, hey, what's going on?
Oh, what's
these
going
are
on?
Oh, sorry.
No, that's okay. Go ahead. What are they?
These are very casual.
Yeah.
Like very, very casual.
Yeah. This is definitely not what we use when we walk into a business meeting or a negotiation at work or something, right? With a suit on.
Right. Yeah. Hey, how's it going? Yeah. It's very casual, but it's good stuff.
Street English, right, Michelle? This is street English. This is everyday English, normal, real English, guys. So what's the takeaway for today, Michelle?
Well, what are you up to? It's very casual. Like, as Lindsay thinks it's a little bit young sounding. I'm not, I'm a little bit on the fence. I don't know. I'm gonna listen. Now I'm gonna really pay attention to who is saying this. But I can definitely see where you're coming from on that one, Lindsay. It's not like I'm like, what are you talking about? I can see where you're coming from, but I don't know. I have to listen more.
You can report back to us, Michelle. You can study this phrase
report back
for a week or 2 and then come back and tell us. We'll do a follow-up episode on this.
I'll carry around a little notepad, and whenever I hear this, I'll have and then I'll make like a bar, like a pie. Oh yeah, I'll make a pie.
You'll be a language detective here.
Yes, I love it.
That's so nerdy. That's so nerdy.
Yeah, but I would do that. Like that sounds like something
probably would. That's funny.
Yeah. But it's a good phrase to use, and it's smooth. It's easy. You can use it in many contexts, and it's great because it's not too intrusive, but it's showing interest, right? So you guys, you definitely start using this.
Yeah, it's a good. Again, it comes down to connection. We know you guys are here because you want better connections in English and therefore a better life. That's what that comes down to, right? So this is a way that, you can build really nice connections because like we said, not too intense, but not too disconnected either. It's somewhere in between. So give it a try, guys. Use this out, try this out and see what happens. I love it because native speakers, they're going to resonate with you when they hear you say this. Because their friends also say it too. So it's going to work. Awesome. Michelle, where should our listeners go if they want a better listening experience with some very cool bonus videos?
You should go over and check out our new app at allearsenglish.com/bonuses. And over there, you're going to get exclusive bonus videos that do come down after just a few days. So you got to get them fast.
Yeah, you got to get them. You got to be subscribed, guys. So you can get those bonus alert messages when a new video is available. And we are working on adding new features this spring. We're going to be going into an intensive work cycle on the app, hopefully very soon, guys. So get ready for some cool stuff over there. It's going to be good. It's going to be good. Okay, here we go, Michelle. We are out of here for today, but we'll be back soon.
All right. Bye, Lindsay. Bye, guys.
Take care. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks so much for listening to All Ears English. And if you need a 7 or higher on your IELTS exam to achieve your life vision, then our Insider Method can get you there. Start with our free video series masterclass. Get video 1 now at allearsenglish.com/INSIDER. And if you believe in connection, not perfection, then subscribe to our show on your phone or on your computer. See you next time.